what we used to do was demo our songs before going into the studio, which we kind of found what Nick Huggins, our last producer, used to say, demo-itis. We get demo-itis, which is like
You just get
when
attached
you love
to
the
it.
demo so much and you're just spending all this time trying to recreate it. And
Yeah.
so for this album we just made, we didn't really do much demoing
Mm.
because we didn't want to, capture the beautiful moment and then go, "Oh, wait, this is not the real thing."
Yeah. Bringing it backwards. Hello.
How you doing?
Great. How are both of you?
Very good. Yeah.
Awesome. I
Good.
appreciate you doing this.
No worries. Thanks for having
Oh.
us.
Of course. What time is it there?
It's 12 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for being willing to either stay up or wake up.
You
Yeah,
stayed
definitely
up.
staying up.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay. Well,
Forgive
so,
us if we you know.
oh, you guys look great. Awesome. Well, my name's Adam, and this is about the two of you and your journey in music, and we'll talk about the new album as well.
Great.
Cool.
Is
So
it is it out? It was. Oh, sorry.
I'm Ivy and this is Mabel, just by the way.
Hi. Cool, cool. Well, first off, obviously sisters. Who's the elder sister?
Me.
Mabel.
By how many years? Just a couple,
Uh,
or
2 and a bit, 2.5.
2.5 years,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
okay. Well, do you both come from a musical family at all? And where were you? You grew up in Australia. What part of Australia?
We are in Melbourne.
Yeah.
We grew up in the inner city of Melbourne.
Yeah.
And to answer your question about our parents, whether they're musical, our mum was a choir leader when we were little. She also was in bands in the 90s.
No
She
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was in an electronic duo
Yeah.
where she would stand on her head and sing, and the other person had a laptop on stage. It was like when people were first putting laptops on stage, and it was weird.
Sure. I remember those days. I'm
And
old. I think. What was your mom's duo called?
Oh, it was called Femo.
yeah.
I don't think it's on the internet.
No.
But that's cool. Did you used to go, or were you all too young to see
Oh,
her
this was like
perform?
before we were born.
She
Oh,
used to
before you.
record Mabel holding Mabel while she recorded.
Are you
Oh,
serious? That's amazing.
Yeah,
But she would stand on her head. Have you seen videos of that?
actually, where
is
she has
there?
the blue
There would
wig
be
on.
photos.
She
Yeah.
was she was a lot.
That's so cool. And I'm sure super supportive of what you both are doing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's
She's
been
great.
great.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
dad's not a muso or no, he's just a music lover and is obsessed with Bob Dylan, and so that is a lot of what we listened to as kids.
Okay. Is that where you got kind of the folky
I
vibe from or side from?
yeah,
We did
probably.
listen to lots of folk music.
Yeah.
The Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack, if
Yeah.
you know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, harmonies. Yeah, we were big into that. Um, but yeah, Bob Dylan for
Bob
sure as
Dylan.
well. We
Oh.
well, as kids, we thought that his voice was a bit scratchy.
Yeah, a
But
lot
then
of people did.
yeah,
But when you can write that good of songs, who
yeah.
cares?
But one song of his that we did just love was Mr. Tambourine Man.
Okay.
Even though his voice was scratchy
That
as
was
we
a
thought
fun
as
song.
kids, we loved that one. We would sing
Awesome.
to it
So,
every
Mabel, you're older. Did you start? I mean, did you both start music at the same time, or were you doing something and then Ivy, you were like intrigued or wanted to, follow your big sister, or how did that work?
Yeah. Well, I wrote my first song when I was 12.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and taught myself guitar. and then Ivy jumped on the harmonies, and I guess we just kept writing songs. And we used to busk a lot we started busking when we were 8 and 11,
No way. Oh my gosh. Your
and we
your your mom was just like, "Yeah, go ahead, go out," and you guys would go out and play? Did you make some money?
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
we had the cute factor then.
there's a certain age where that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
But our dad worked at this veggie shop, and we had another friend singing with us, and we
Mm.
would sing 3-part harmonies.
Outside this veggie shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
And
way, that's so cool.
Throw their loose change in every time they'd come out.
What instrument did you both start on, or did you start on different ones? Maybe it sounds like you learned guitar yourself, but, prior to that, um did you play anything? And, I'm sure mom put you all in or taught you how to sing early on or put you in her class or
well, we actually went to Steiner School, which is like I don't know if you've heard of
Waldorf?
Steiner School.
Waldorf?
You might
My
call it
yeah.
Waldorf there. It's like an alternative stream,
Okay.
and some of my favorite artists went to Steiner School, like Sufjan Stevens, he's one of our
Oh,
all-time heroes.
really? Yeah.
Actually, Steiner School.
Joanna
It's
Newsom as well.
it's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a stream where music's like a big part of it, and so you sing every day in class,
Mm.
and then
Wow.
I think when you're 9 years old, you pick up a stringed instrument like violin, viola, or cello, and so I picked up cello when I was 9.
And I picked up violin.
Yeah,
Wow.
so they were our
Yeah.
first instruments.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Those are such beautiful instruments. I love the
Mm.
sounds of
Yeah.
Yeah.
strings. I think that's
Yeah.
cool.
They're very frustrating to learn at the very
I would
beginning.
imagine. And I bet your
Mm.
parents were so happy when they could hear you just going
Yeah.
early on.
I would have thought they would have learnt by Mabel's terrible playing at the start.
Okay, because she
No,
started
no,
before you.
True.
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta push through that stage,
Yeah.
you know?
Right. That's
Mhm.
funny. But so then busking that early on, you said 11 and 8-ish,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you wrote your first song maybe at 12. And
Mm.
is that have you both just been playing together since, that early on and or did you, you know, play in different bands and kind of come back together or has it always just been the two of you performing together?
It's pretty much always been us. Yeah.
Yeah. We made a little EP when we were how old were we? 12 and 14, and that was like where it started. And we were just gonna do it for our friends and just burn a couple for our friends. But
Mhm.
then we ended up just making a crowdfunding campaign and yeah, printing them professionally. And then
Wow.
now we're just releasing our fourth album. So yeah.
And it's just same, I mean, that basically the same thing. It just the band essentially started then when that EP came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Wow.
with the name then.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But
That's so
yeah,
cool. I mean, to be that young and really start off and put an EP out, that must have been exciting.
Yeah. I yeah.
yeah, and then we started doing gigs. Mum helped us apply for folk festivals around Australia, and we started playing those, and we were like, the youngest band on the lineup.
I bet. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Was
Same.
Yeah.
that probably was intriguing to people too. They're like, "Who are these 2 young girls performing? Like, let's go check them out." And the
I
fact
think
that you were good, I'm sure was even, it wasn't just like this joke. It was like, "Oh my gosh, they're actually really, really talented."
it was a good childhood, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you 2 are close. Is that like being sisters? I mean, I've 2 sons that are like fighting all the time. Like, was that something hard to navigate, or have you always been like really, you know, best friends or really close?
Well, we do live together as well, and we definitely don't go without arguments.
Okay.
Not all smooth sailing.
No. You caught us at a good time.
Oh, awesome! Even at this late. You're like, "Well, we're delirious, so we're not gonna fight, right?"
No,
Um,
but yeah, we've lived together our whole lives and it works, so
that's special, that's really
If
cool.
there is a fight, then, after half an hour, it's all fine.
yeah.
It's
Right, you
smooth.
have that, unconditional love. Does that work out? I mean, I would imagine, like, if you were in a band setting with people that you weren't that close with, some people
Mm,
could be kinda timid about, voicing their opinion or their feelings on songs, or that could cause fights and break bands up. Like, just because you are so close, can you say, like, "Oh, that sucks," or whatever, or Mass and vice versa, like, "Well, we're not doing that," and then, like, feelings probably don't get hurt as much, or if they do, it's like, "Who cares? We're back, we're
She
sisters,
does
let's
a lot
move
of that.
forward."
I I do. Yeah, we definitely, um, do shut each other down a lot of the time, but I think that that's a good thing.
No,
Sometimes
100%,
that
yeah.
brutal
Need it.
honesty to
Yeah,
get to the good songs,
yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just need someone to be like, "Nah, you can do better than that."
Right, right, and you're not gonna have, like, resentments. It's like, "Okay, yeah, you guess you're right," instead move forward instead of being like, "Oh, I can't," "She always shuts down my great ideas, and I'm gonna start something different."
Yeah. I
So
mean, yeah, I think we're pretty good with that.
yeah.
And then even if I don't agree with you, I'll just be like, "I'm just gonna push forward with this," and then she'll eventually come around, and she'll be like, "Actually, that's pretty good."
And this is vice versa as well. It's
Sure.
not just
And
me being the asshole.
when you write, I mean, living together, being with each other a lot, I mean, it's must be easy to kind of be like, "Oh, let's write something," or are you constantly kind of together? And you must have a lot of songs, I would imagine, and going into each album?
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of have different stages. Like we have writing stages, but also, yeah, living together is super convenient for
Mhm.
like if you have an idea late at night or something and just be like,
Mm,
"Hey, let's do songwriting.
yeah.
I want to finish this idea." But we for the last album we kind of had a week away. We sort of set a week aside to go somewhere nice and do lots of writing together.
Mm.
Wow. Where did you all go?
We went to the Mornington Peninsula,
Here in
here in
Victoria.
Victoria, yeah, on
Okay.
beach. And yeah, it's a beautiful place and pretty inspiring.
Some lovely people let us
Mm.
stay at their huge property with lots of trees, and yeah, it was nice and relaxing, and we
Was
Love
it
enjoyed.
tree.
was it the summertime, or, like, I mean, obviously the
Uh,
album
yeah,
title is off that's a
Yeah.
tree, right? It's a tree in the snow, or am I just totally dumb?
It's a name of a person.
Oh, it
Marlin.
is, because I was
Marlin.
trying to research what it was, and they called, juniper trees.
Yeah,
Uh,
so yeah, do you want the story of
yeah, I would love the story.
So the album title is Marlinchen in the Snow,
Mhm.
and Marlinchen is a girl. Her name's Marlinchen, and I feel like you're better at telling this story. Do you want to keep?
okay, so it's like it's from a Grimm's fairy tale called The Juniper Tree, which is probably where you got that from.
Okay.
And it is about this little girl called Marlinchen, and it's quite a Grimm's story, by the way. Like,
Most fairy tales are, right?
unfortunately,
It's like, how are
it's
these children's stories?
it gets dark. We were both told this story when we were like 7
7,
or
yeah.
something. Anyway, so Marlinchen, she discovers that her mother has killed her stepbrother.
Alright.
And then he gathers his bones and puts the bones under this juniper tree. And then out from the juniper tree comes this bird, and the bird has the voice of the brother, and he tells the story about his death and what happened and the truth of it all. And anyway, this
Whoa.
story, yeah, it sort of was one of those ones which kind of stayed in our heads,
Yeah.
No
and then we
way. Yeah. You're like traumatized.
you
You're
don't
like, is
forget.
mom gonna kill one of us?
So heavy.
Yeah.
But we were recording this album in Nova Scotia, Canada, with our producer Daniel Ledwell. And it was the middle of winter, lots of snow, which is very like surreal and weird for us in Australia.
Oh, I
So
bet.
we haven't, yeah, we don't see that much snow. We've never seen that much snow before. We'd
Mm.
never seen a frozen lake before. We had this huge frozen lake at our doorstep, lots of
We
like the
got very
woods,
excited.
and we
Very.
were like, oh, this is like a fairy tale. And then we were sort of reminded of this fairy tale and then started writing this song in the studio.
Okay.
And
So, but this trip that you took, kind
yeah,
of like to get away, you already had those songs and then you went to record in Canada. So it wasn't like the fairy tale was the storyline that kind of started the album. It's almost that came when you were
Like,
recording the album.
so all like majority of the songs were all written before we went to Canada, except for this one song, Marlinchen in the Snow, which is the title track of the album. And we wrote that when we're in the studio.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
Well, just going back a little bit to that first EP, was that something that you just found somebody locally to record it or like and then how do you kind of get um like did you have like a moment or did you have some sort of like mentor or somebody kind of championing you both as artists to be like, whoa, these girls really have something going on. Like I want to kind of help get them to the next level.
Mm.
yeah, we've had lots of amazing mentors along the way. Yeah, when we made that first EP, there was this guy, he was a harp player, he was a friend of our mum's friend. He saw us play, Michael Johnson was his name, and he was like, I want to record you, come to my studio. And we went to his studio, and then his gear broke on the first day.
Oh my gosh.
But he was like, "Don't worry, I've got this friend, and he'll record you." And so he was like the producer, and his friend was the engineer. And we went into the studio, and I think it was like, was it 2 days?
No, it's just the
Was it
one
one
day.
day
Yeah.
we recorded 6
6 tracks.
songs,
Yeah.
Jeez.
uh, which was, yeah, an intense experience, I think, for
Mm.
Mhm.
kids.
And was it I mean, to be that young and, like, obviously, the album or EP must have been received pretty well to then because you ended up getting signed on the next album, right? Or on your first album?
No,
The next one was another, oh, what was that? Was that 2016? I
yeah,
can't
that
remember.
yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, again, another sort of, I was our
Okay, so
first.
Staring at the Starting Ceiling, that was just, like, another one that you all, like,
We
It's
just did that
similar,
after.
but did you work with the same person and kind of have or was it, like, totally new, like, "Oh, let's just go to some new people and see what we can do. We have these songs together."
Yeah, we worked with a guy called Nick Huggins on the next 2 records, so Staring at the Starry Ceiling and Your Company.
Mhm.
And he was someone, like, who did some amazing records that we loved of
Mm.
some people here in Melbourne. And we just loved the sound of all the records he did. So we went and met him. He lives in Point Lonsdale, which is on the beach.
Wow.
He has a little studio at the back, and he was amazing. He was so encouraging, and yeah, just so great to work with. Made us feel, you know, like we could,
Comfy.
yeah, we could really
Mm.
create something special and
Mm.
explore creatively and be supported. Um, so yeah, I think we really lucked out with working with Nick.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and then after that was
Lock
Wonderful Oblivion, which,
Oblivion.
It was made during lockdown, so we were here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were here in, Melbourne and we recorded in our, house. We set up a vocal booth with, like, big blankets and vocal mic stands put up as high as they could go and sort of like a little cubby house made out of those. That was our
Wow.
little. Yeah, and then we worked with Daniel Ledwell, who
Did the
also
new
produced.
album?
Yeah, but, he was in Canada, so we would send files back and forth, and we'd wake up in the morning to a new mix in our inbox.
That's cool. So did you both record, like, you almost engineered the whole album, that
Yeah,
album because
yeah,
you're at
so
home?
yeah, so we did all the vocals and all the, guitar and the strings for that one, and Dan did some instruments on his end as well, so
What was
yeah.
that like? I mean, obviously, what's still so bizarre to me is that the whole world was locked down, right? I mean, you're in Australia, all the way across the whole world, and
Yeah.
you were sitting in your house just like I was in, California or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that just still blows my mind that this cold shut the whole world down. And like, I mean, being that in that situation, were you all playing a lot of shows, or like, how did that directly affect you? Were you going to do a tour? I know you have a tour coming up. Um, and like, I mean, where were you at when that all really started? And was that the
Yeah.
reason why you kind of had time to do that album?
Well, we went to a conference in early 2020, actually. So, just before everything locked down, and we met Dan at this conference. It's called Folk Alliance in it was in New Orleans,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, we met Dan there, and yeah, then we were meant to go on a UK tour that year. Obviously, didn't end up doing that.
Sure.
Um, so we just thought, what are we gonna do with ourselves for this time and try and keep our music going? And yeah, just decided to contact Dan and try and get some music together with him. Yeah.
That must have been such a different process, obviously. You have to figure out how to record yourselves. Have you ever done that before, recorded yourselves in that, like, to that level where it's like, this is gonna make our album? Like, you know what I
Yeah, not
mean?
We
we've
haven't. Mm,
we've done lots of recording before that, but
mm,
not sort of
engineering it ourselves as much.
yeah, yeah, not stuff that we would then put on the internet.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we recorded strings for ourselves for the
Mm,
last albums, but I guess that's kind of just underneath. So this was the first time we were like recording vocals
mm,
and basically like, being the producer in the session for each
mm.
other and going, okay, that was a good take, do another one or whatever. Which was hard, actually. We
Yeah,
worked each other way too hard and, made each
we're
other
very
do
brutal.
we just
Your
recorded
own
way
worst critic type deal?
Yeah, yeah. We kind of realized afterwards when we, recorded with Jan in person, he was like, "Okay, I only record 3 vocal takes,
Yeah,
and that's enough. And then listen to those, and then if you need more, we can do more." And we were like, "Oh, what? We, like,
did
did,
like.
like, 50 when we recorded it ourselves."
But yeah, 3 was, yeah, he was so
He
right.
was very right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that a lot, especially during, like, COVID and people recording at home, where it's like, you would do these takes, and because you were really kind of in the moment, right, when you're singing those songs, and then, somebody would say, "Oh, I recorded this in my closet with some blankets and a $50 USB mic from Amazon," and then you go to this expensive studio and these expensive mics, and that just kind of redoing that emotion and kind of like trying to, recreate it, was just the magic wasn't there. Like, did you try to, and that makes sense kind of with those first three takes. Like, the first three takes are probably, you're okay, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to do it. And then you probably start kind of falling into like more of like a rhythm of how you're almost redoing your same vocal takes, I would imagine. Once you get to like 47 or
Much.
What
Yeah.
we used to do was demo our songs before going into the studio, which we kind of found what Nick Huggins, our last producer, used to say, demo-itis. We get demo-itis, which is like
You just get
when
attached
you love
to
the
it.
demo so much and you're just spending all this time trying to recreate it. And
yeah.
so for this album we just made, we didn't really do much demoing
Mm.
because we didn't want to, capture the beautiful moment and then go, "Oh, wait, this is not the real thing."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so with this new album, there wasn't a whole lot of demoing done.
No.
Yeah,
Mm.
it was just mostly rough recordings and stuff.
For demos, yeah. It
Yeah.
was just mm.
And so you decided on, okay, we're gonna do you have, like when it comes to having songs, and then I love the fact you do albums, which is kind of a lost art. I feel like, right? A lot of people are just doing a song, and then 2 months later a song, and 3 months later a song, and all right, it's time for the EP. We'll put two on it now, and now we have five or whatever it may be. Uh, when you guys were writing, do you write knowing you want to put a full album out, or is it not a thought? Is it just, okay, now we have all these songs. Do they kind of are they linear in a way where it makes sense to make an album?
Yeah, well, this one was a lot of the songs came out of a time in 2022 when we went on a very long tour, UK tour. We spent 4 months in the UK and Europe.
Wow.
Yeah, shows, and yeah, it was a long time, and we loved it. We had a great time, and it was incredible. Going to all these different places each night and discovering, meeting heaps of new people, and then saying bye and meeting another bunch of new people the next day. And yeah, we loved it, but we also missed home a lot. And yeah, so I think a lot of the songs on this new album are linked in that way. Yeah, just a lot about travel and missing people, and then also wonder and awe of where we are in the world.
Hmm. That's very cool. So then you decide, okay, let's go to this. Did you have songs and then decided to take this trip, or was it let's take this trip because we'll start fresh here and be inspired and kind of take those feelings from that tour and put together this album?
Sort of came out after that tour or during that tour. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
I think while we're on tour, we didn't really have plans to make the album. I
No,
don't think it was afterwards that we sort of went, "Okay, let's make a new album."
we have these songs uh that seem to go in an album.
But then we also went on a UK tour before we went to Canada,
Mm.
which I think we wrote a few songs on that little trip as well,
Yeah,
maybe.
just before we recorded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the album before was the one you guys won, like, best folk album, right? Didn't you win some huge awards for that album?
Yeah, best folk album in the Australian Folk Music Awards, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that must have been such a huge moment. What was that like?
Yeah.
Even being nominated, I bet you were like, "Oh my gosh, like, we got this."
It's really nice to be recognized in your own country for
Right.
work that we try and do. Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
Very, very
Yeah.
cool. So this album is kind of written about, the missing people and the experiences you had on this tour, and then you get to Canada and kind of see this landscape. And is that what sparked the
Mm.
remembering this kind of fairy tale that you were told as kids and decided to write that song on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I think that story also is kind of about, like, female strength as well, and,
Mhm.
like, following your intuition and, overcoming obstacles, being led by, like, your inner voice, which is, like, another sort of thing that comes into lots of the other songs, and we felt like that was a nice way to sort of link them as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Well, I appreciate you both staying up late and doing this.
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Of course. I do have well, I have one more quick question on the touring. Like, at what age did you start? I mean, putting an album out when you were that young. At what point do you in busking? I mean, you had all the live experience, and at what point do you start to tour? Was it on when you put your first album out? Was it on that EP? Or, I mean, at what age are you traveling and playing shows? And is mom coming with you, or like how does that work at that young?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we did start playing gigs when I was 11, I think, and you were 14. And that was where we started doing festivals around Australia.
It was
Um,
definitely a big, like, family thing. We'd go to the festival
mm,
together,
yeah,
which was a fun way to
mm,
spend a childhood.
yeah. And then when we started releasing albums, we would do, a Sydney show, a Melbourne show, a Castlemaine show, which is like a regional
Hmm.
area state that we live in, and just small regional areas. Australia's massive, so
Yeah.
there's yeah,
It's
we did
interesting when you see tour dates for bands that it's there's not a whole lot of shows on it, and it's like because you have to fly right to pretty much every city unless you're driving like a ton of hours.
We're
yeah
about to do a tour where we have, like, is it
drive
7-hour drives and stuff?
yeah,
It's
10
like
hour drives,
we've
yeah.
decided to drive rather than fly.
That's
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
wow.
bonkers. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yeah, that's crazy. Well, I had a chance to hear the album. It's amazing, and I have one more question for you all before I let you go to sleep. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Mhm.
Totally. I reckon keep playing and practicing your instrument.
Mm.
Just keep
Get good at your
practicing.
craft.
Yeah, really hone in on your craft. And yeah, I think that if you if you put the effort in and you also like putting your honest self and your pouring your heart into the music that you're making, that's going to come across to audiences and speak to them. So I think that's for us. I think music's always been
Mm,
about kind of expressing honest emotions, and so that's kind of our goal when we
mm.
write. And I think that connects with people. So I guess that would be my advice.
Yeah.
You have anything, Ivy, to add?
Oh, I mean, that sort of sums it up, I think, but, um I love the do it yourself approach. We,
Okay.
you know, we try and learn as much as we can on, music videos and everything that is involved in being a musician and putting your music out there. And, we have learned how to put it out there ourselves, and I've learned how to edit music videos, and the more you can do yourself, the better it is for you. You can
You know,
just
you can be
yeah,
self-sufficient.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so just
Love
learn
it.
as much as you can.
Bringing it backwards.